Good morning. We welcome you to Daily Devotionals, and we are looking in Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament today, 7th chapter, and we're looking at the first 4 verses. A good name is better than a good ointment, and the day of one's death is better than the day of one's birth. It's better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting, because that is the end of every man, and the living takes it to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for when a face is sad, a heart may be happy. The mind of the wise is in the house of mourning, while the mind of fools is in the house of pleasure. It is better to listen to the rebuke of a wise man than for one to listen to the song of fools. This individual shares, says, my heart is full from attending the funeral of a faithful woman. Her life wasn't spectacular. She wasn't known widely outside her church or her neighbors and friends, but she loved Jesus, her 7 children, and her 25 grandchildren. She laughed easily, served generously, and could hit a softball a long way. Well, Ecclesiastes says it's better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, because there we learn what matters most. A New York Times columnist, David Brooks, says there are 2 kinds of virtues: those that look good on a resume, and those that you once said at your funeral. Sometimes these overlap, though often they seem to compete. When in doubt, always choose the eulogy virtues in your life. The woman on that day who had died didn't have a resume, but her children testified that she rocked Proverbs 31 and its description of a godly woman. She inspired them to love Jesus and to care for others, and as Paul said, follow my example as I follow the example of Christ. So they challenged us to imitate their mother's life as she imitated Jesus. What will be said at your funeral? What do you want said at your funeral? It's not too late to develop eulogy virtues. Rest in Jesus. His salvation frees us to live for what matters most in our lives. So questions for you this morning. Are you living out things that will affect your resume or your eulogy? And how would your life change if you lived every day with your eulogy in mind? Pray with me. God, give me the courage to live for what matters most. Amen.